A lot of people have been asking me, where'd your video go? Where'd your video go? Why'd you delete your video? I'm going to tell you why I deleted the video. All right. Lots been going on, and we're talking about Grant and Micah signing with TaylorMade, and these other influencers signing with these major brands. It's really cool. Okay, first and foremost, why did I take my video down? I posted a video saying most likely that Grant and Micah were signing with TaylorMade, and I deleted it. Why did I do that? Here's why I did it. One is I knew they were going to TaylorMade. So it's one thing to speculate and, try to formulate a thought and an idea and say, this is what I think. There's another way of the other side of that is saying what you think, but actually knowing what's going to happen. And so I was like, that's not cool, right? I knew for a fact where they were going. And so I felt it was unfair of me to say that knowing it. Like if I didn't know, I wouldn't have done it. I could have done the same video and said and speculated. That's fine. But I didn't want to, let's say, rain on their parade, or I felt like, man, if it were me and I was going to make this announcement I was super excited about and somebody knew and they said it ahead of me, I wouldn't be too thrilled about that. So I was like, you know what? That's not cool. And I didn't want to step on toes in that way. I'm fine with being uncool sometimes, but just not in that particular way where you know what's going on and you had some inside information that you were revealing. So I pulled the video. I said, no, let's just not do that. So I took it down and I was like, and then I tried to do it again. I was like, no, it's just not going to work, right? Let me just wait. Let me let them make their announcement. I think it's really cool what's happening. And if it were me, if the shoe were on the other foot, I would want to be the one to put it out there. And so they did. They made their announcement last week that they signed with TaylorMade. It was cool. It was really cool announcement, the way that they launched it. They're at TaylorMade at the Kingdom down there in San Diego. And they had these cool videos, and TaylorMade posts a whole bunch of stuff. And Grant and Micah are posting all the stuff. And it was really cool. And then shortly, like a day or two later, it might have been the same day, TaylorMade does a post that says, from good to great. And they're showing these guys, Grant and Micah doing their thing. And I'm like, ooh, that's a shot across the bow right there at good. I mean, they took a shot. Now, it was a little low blow, but it wasn't totally like, we hate you guys, right? It was kind of like a jab. And like, dude, I wasn't expecting that. Like, that's what it was to me. And I want you guys to let me know what you think. Like, was that cool or was that uncool? I think it was kind of cool. Here's why. To me, it's similar, like if you're a boxer or you're a fellow competitor and you're going to compete against one team to another. For example, in the NFL playoffs, you've had players on this side talking trash about players on the other side. At some point, though, these guys get on the field together and they duke it out, and may the best team, best man, whatever, may the best channel win, right? May have the best, you compete for it. And you walk away, you're like, all right, good game. You got me. You got us. You won, right? You won this one. We'll see you next time. That's kind of how dudes go about their business in the competitive sports arena. And so for that, I felt like it was cool. It was cool of TaylorMade to make a little jab. Think about it. Rivalry is good. It's good. It's good. It's great. It's good to great good. Rivalry helps develop interest. Think about when Tiger and Phil were competing. There was that rivalry. It's happened all through sports. Now you've got Rory and the Live Tour and the Rory Tour and the PGA Tour. And the rivalry makes things more interesting. And so for TaylorMade to make that tweet, I felt like, man, that made it more interesting, because what's good going to say now? How are they going to come back? And they really didn't. maybe Steven made a post and he was basically saying, I'm biting my tongue, too many play on words to get out there. And who knows? They're kind of being let's say the all-American kids, where we're gonna be clean, we're gonna take the high road, and that's gonna be our persona, right? Our image. And I like that. And then Grant and Micah, they didn't really say anything, but TaylorMade did. So TaylorMade's throwing a shot. Is TaylorMade throwing a shot at Callaway? Because Good signed with Callaway. So they're saying, hey, we're greater than Callaway. Maybe they're doing that. Either way, I don't really care. I think it's great for the game. For the game in terms of social media. I hate even saying social media because this is really more content creation world. YouTube is really content creators. I think social media would be Instagram, TikTok, that type of thing, and Twitter. That's kind of social media. This is more, we're creating content. And I think there's a big difference. But what's cool is that these big brands, Callaway, they signed to Good. They also signed Bob Sports, who I think I mentioned them even in the video I deleted, and I was like, man, they didn't really make their announcement yet. Although, I mean, everybody knows because, Callaway said it at their launch event out in Topgolf El Segundo in Los Angeles when they announced Good. But Bob Sports didn't make their official announcement till just recently. So they've signed with Callaway also. And then you have No Laying Up. Those guys go over to Titleist. And so Titleist signed them. And then TaylorMade's got Grant and Micah. And so all these big brands are now really going heavy in to the content creator space. And because that's really where you get not just views, not just younger views, but you get long watch time, hundreds of thousands of hours of watch time. And I think the big brands are realizing that, hey, that 10th ranked player in the world, 10th to 20th ranked player in the world, if they're not in the hunt, in the final round of the tour that they're on, you don't really see them. Plus, here's the challenge is this. As viewers, we look at the PGA Tour. Let's say you look at Ricky Fowler, super popular, right? Puma, Cobra Puma, all that. So, and he does all the farmers insurance commercials. And if he's not up there, then where does all that? You're spending all this money, but we're not guaranteed that he's going to win or be competitive. Ricky's awesomely making the last few events have been really good for him, so it's been great. But there's no guarantee that person, whether it's Ricky or anybody else, that they're actually going to be on television. And how many people are going to see him? How long are they going to be on television? And how long are you going to watch them, right? If you add it up, okay, each shot is a few seconds. So ultimately, if you add up all the numbers, the content creators on YouTube who are getting views are getting more eyeballs for longer periods of time. And we're not necessarily looked at as people who are just spokespersons for a brand, right? So you see Ricky, you see him all decked out, you know immediately like, well, he's sponsored by those guys, of course. So you expect it, right? You expect him to be in the commercials, in the ads, in the photos, and all the stuff. You expect that. Whereas your YouTube channel that you watch, all the golf creation or the golf content, you just watch them play. And so now, yeah, they're sponsored, but our initial thought isn't that, oh, they're just paid off. They're just sponsored by those guys. It's just the way it is, right? It doesn't come across in the same way as it does when you're watching someone on television or a commercial. When you see someone decked out in their tour logos, that comes across like a television commercial would come across. So I think that it's very smart for these big brands to move more toward the content creation space. And I love it. And so I love that not all of them are with one company. I like that Grand Micah have gone over to TaylorMade. I like that Good Goods with Callaway. I like that different people are with different brands because it really opens the door for more awesome content, more collaborations with some of the best players in the world. And this is what's great is because what happens is as viewers, we get used to watching, let's say you're a fan of Grand Micah, right? You love their stuff. And so you're used to them. Well, if a tour player picks somebody, John Rahm, right? Awesome player. If he were just to show up on a golf channel or something doing a playing lesson, like you would watch it, but I don't think you'd watch it in the same way you'd watch it if he was playing with, he's a Callaway guy. So if he were playing with Good Good, right? But if he plays with Good Good, you're going to watch it. You're going to be more intrigued because one, there's the personalities that you like watching, and then he inserts himself in that versus taking a tour player, and I'm not picking on John Rahm, he's great, or anybody, just take any random tour player, and that person alone carries this particular golf video where you're watching them. It could get boring. One, because you don't have a history watching this person, and there's really no connection, engagement back and forth. Whereas with the YouTubers, the content creators on YouTube, there's a back and forth. There's comments, we comment back. So there's some type of history, and you know that we're going to be back for another video. And so there's a constant flow of engagement happening. Whereas with the tour player, if they do one, it's kind of a one-off and you're never going to see them again. So there's no investment, there's no connection, you haven't built that relationship in that way. Where we, content creators, we're building this relationship and we're going to continue to nurture that, and it's going to last for however long we're doing this, hopefully years and years and years. Whereas a tour player, it's quick. They're going to come in and bounce out. So the more content creators that sign with big brands, the more relationships they have with the world-class best players in the world, and the more content creation that can happen, and the more cool videos that we can put out there for entertainment and engagement. And it's a lot of fun. So for that, I think it's great and good great and great to good that all these guys are signing with different brands. In other words, am I open for business for a brand? Maybe. I wasn't in the past. Matter of fact, I turned one down a few years ago, big brand. I said, you know what? It would influence my objectivity. So I didn't do it. And I pulled the papers really, right? Kind of towards the end. And I said, I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right to do at the time. It might be more acceptable now, but who knows? We'll see what lies ahead for the Mr. Short Game. But for now, no. And in the past, it wasn't right. Moving forward, we'll see. We'll see, because I want my objectivity. I do a number of product reviews, so I want to keep that. But at the same time, it does provide a great opportunity to bring you more epic content. So if you want the Mr. Short Game to sign with a company, let me know which one. Put your suggestion down below, and we'll see what happens in the future. Thanks for listening. It's exciting times out there. I'm loving every minute of it. See you guys soon.